So think of an individual with a learning disability as someone on a road where the road has gaps. The road has gaps. Now, for a lot more people, that road has no gaps. Even though the road may have ups and downs, twists and turns, the road is uninterrupted. But for individuals with a learning disability, that road is interrupted. And the interruption is because of the gaps that have been what? Created. And these gaps are due to what? That neurological difference. So it's just as before birth, it could have been a genetic issues going on. Um, Oxygen delivery to the brain starved of oxygen, before birth. Now, during birth, sometimes there could be brain injuries, and then after birth as well. So these individuals with these differences, it's not their own fault. It's not because they chose it. They didn't. So when you're interacting or you're dealing with an individual with a learning disability, you have to understand that there are gaps, there are interruptions on their journey, and our responsibility is just to build bridges. So we build a bridge over the gaps so they can have access. I wish I had. Does that make sense? So we're not there to fix people, individuals with a learning disability and autism. We're not here to fix them. We're here to build bridges. So reasonable adjustments, being mindful of their human rights, being mindful of their Mental Capacity Act, being mindful of these things. And I know you're all very busy people, and you're overwhelmed with work. But let's be mindful as something that also creates a lot of missed opportunities, missed diagnosis is diagnostic overshadowing. Because sometimes we see symptoms, we see physical symptoms, and we see certain symptoms in individuals with a learning disability, and we assume that, oh, it's because of your learning disability. Oh, I think it's because of your autism. No! We have to treat individuals with a learning disability the same way as we treat all our other patients. And Oliver's story is a typical example. Oliver's story reminds us of sometimes the little details that we overlook. I know it's not your intention not to give best care to anyone. You want to do your best. You want to give everyone best care. You want to attend to everyone. But sometimes things like our own biases. So we talk about unconscious bias. Now, there's certain biases that we're not even aware. But these biases widens the gaps. So on that road where these gaps have been created, not due to that person's own fault, not due to their own choice, but the gaps get widened. Systemic issues. Because of the way the system is, these wides get widened. These gaps get widened. And it's our role, to build bridges. So as a nurse, as a doctor, as a physiotherapist, as a psychiatrist, as in your role, you do such an amazing it's God-given. It's such an angelic role that you're taking upon yourself. But someone fell through the gap. Oliver did. The communication was bad. Because we've got to understand that sometimes individuals with a learning disability, there will be communication delays. So whereas you will give every other patient maybe 10 minutes of your time for consultation, we have to pre-plan. We have to think about, okay, my next patient is an autistic individual. My next patient has a learning disability. And therefore, we need to allow what? More time. Because sometimes that delay in communication can make us miss so much. And so let's be mindful of these things. Now, with learning disability, I want us to think about the road with gaps, as I said earlier on. But when it comes to autism, let's think about the same road. So we're all in the same road, same environment, same everything, all of us. Both neurodivergent and neurotypical people. We're all on the same road. And think about it. On this same road, there are lights, there's sound, there's a lot of people, there's this and there's that. So many things. But there's way we people with individuals with autism process information will be very different from individuals without autism, for instance. So sometimes we can have a conversation. We're having a conversation. And so another group there is having a conversation. I can filter that out and have a good conversation with you. But for an individual who lives with autism, that communication going on over there becomes overwhelming. It becomes an overload. The light might be too bright. The sounds around might be too bright. Because the filtering of these sensory triggers or the environment is not the same as individuals without. And so when we're mindful of these things, we can say, oh, okay, actually, let me make sure that the environment is suitable for my next patient or my next client, because they get triggered by that. Let me make sure it's a quiet environment so that everyone, both neurotypical and neurodivergent, can have access to good care.